I am a spiritual writer, energy reader and healer. My readings, articles and the healings that I give are all sort of seeking to empower and provide a different perspective, really. How would I describe myself in 3 words? I'm passionate, authentic, and most of all, I'm fun. You've got to laugh at times, right? Okay, so not all the time. Sometimes we'll cry together too. Hope you're enjoying all the content that I'm putting up on my channel, and if that's the case, love it if you could like and subscribe. Until then, see you around, lovely wing people. So hi, welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading today. So just doing a little intro into all of the readings. Mercury Retrograde usually happens sort of 3 to 4 times a year, depending on the lunar calendar. And it's a very difficult time where the retrograde means that we go back or we go and revisit something, or things may not work as well. But they may not work as well because there's a reason or a lesson that we need to gain from it. It's often a time, because it's ruled, Mercury is the planet of communication, it affects all types of communication. So it can affect our computers, our phones, our cameras. Tell me about it. I've had a few camera issues of that period. So yeah, it can really feel like it's working against us. It's a time frame of shadow that we just need to work through and get through. But often, on a positive note, there are things, as I said, just that, you know, that we need to take from it, that we need to learn from. So coming out of this period is a good thing, or is a positive thing, and affects us in different ways, because wherever the retrograde sits at the time of the year will affect each of us astrologically differently, because it will sit in the different 12 houses, which are houses for astrology that are ruled by planets and affect us in our day-to-day lives. So I just wanted to sort of mention what it was and how it might affect us before I started any of the readings. Hello Leo, welcome to your Mercury Retrograde after party reading. So as I mentioned in the intro, we've just come out of Mercury Retrograde, and I'm going to be talking about where you sat within astrology during that period and how it affected you. And we're going to be looking at how we're going to move forward now that that period's over. So I hope you can see through the smoke. I've lit some frankincense, and I actually did a little bit of saging earlier. Had a little few messages coming through earlier, and I just wanted to make sure that we cleared that energy when we did your reading. So welcome, Leos. I am going to, first of all, I am pulling everybody one of these empowerment cards from one of my new decks that I saw when I was out shopping the other day, and I thought they were really colourful and really lovely. They are upside down. They are about uplifting, and you know what, right now we could all do with a little bit of uplifting, I would say. So first of all, before I pull you that, I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, I've pulled your card. I'll get to that in a second. But before I actually show you what that card is, I'm going to say that Leo, during this period, sat in the 3rd house, which is ruled by Mercury itself. So anybody's sign that fell within this 3rd house during this period, it was like they had double the energy, double the impact. So for you, Leo, it was really talking about this idea of communication, because obviously the 3rd house is about communication. That can be like socially, it can be on a professional note, it can be overthinking things and this kind of thing. So the message for you moving forward out of that energy is that perhaps there has been this thing around you recently where you felt that you weren't heard. You felt that you weren't being listened to, or that people didn't think what you had to say was of the right interest. And now we're moving past that. We're going to go in the complete opposite direction, and your words are going to carry more weight. So that's going to give you a better sense of this sense of self, that people love you and they hear you, and this kind of thing. Okay, so your empowerment card, first of all. You can waste your life drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. Ta-da! Some of them are pretty in your face, actually. So this is saying to you, if there are things in your life that you want to change or you want to do, now's the time to be heard. But most importantly, it's time to listen to yourself. You know, tell yourself about the things you want to do or the things in your life you'd like to change. It's now time to take the action and make it happen. Okay, so that's a nice card for you. I'm going to pop that next to my angel rose quartz that I have in my readings and my little black cat. Cute little one I got on holiday the other day. My little black cat is called Scylla, and yeah, she probably may even jump on the desk and be part of our reading, who knows. Sometimes she does that, so you might see her in a bit. So first of all, I'm going to pull 6 cards from the Rider-Waite deck, and I'm going to clarify those normal tarot with some of my Island Wellness cards. Yeah, and these cards, they're quite symbolic. They have like different like people and messages on them, and as an energy reader, I channel those messages in conjunction with your cards. So yeah, let's hope we get some really clear messages for our Leo friends. But before I do that, at the end of the reading, I will read out the Angel Soul cards and an Archangel Michael card for you. And this will be a very direct message, and will definitely have something in there for you to take away and to think about after the reading. So let's pull those first, and then I will call them out right at the end. So let me clear my space. So let's just pull them out like that, and I'm going to just pick one at random. Okay, we'll look at that at the end. Okay, I'm going to do the same with your Action Angel cards. Spread them all out, and I'm going to pick you one. Okay. So now we have those cards out, Leo, I have pre-shuffled, I've done a proper full shuffle with these cards. Some people do like to see me do that shuffle on screen. So I will do a bit of one, but I do like a really thorough shuffle before we get on camera. Okay? I do take cards that jump, she says, as they jumped. And you have the Empress card, which is a really positive card of the Major Arcana. And you have it with the Wheel of Fortune. The tables are turning, Leo. This is what we want to hear, right? This is really good. So this is our first column. I will look at those after. Major Arcana on both sides of that column usually indicates significant change in our lives coming up. Okay, so another Major Arcana. You have the Judgment card in reverse. Okay, what else do we have for my lovely Leos for us coming out of this Mercury retrograde? Okay, so wow, you have all Major Arcana at this point. So when I said about this significant change, this is definitely something to look out for. So keep them peeled during this reading. So you have the Death card of Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, so this card usually comes out in my readings, funny enough. People get scared of it and think, oh, Death card. These cards, none of them are particularly literal. I mean, they can come out as literal, but this card often instigates change, which we just spoke about. There's also a little Pegasus on there almost, sort of charging through. Yes, so this card is also mimicking everything we've said so far about this idea of changes. You know, I always speak, oh, do you know what? This Devil card has come out in about 5 different readings now. So there's definitely a collective energy about there being this idea of temptation around us at this time. You do have it with the Six of Swords. So this is about air signs. This is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. It's the only minor arcana that you have in your whole reading. And this card is about moving forward as well. So we're getting a really clear message right now of what direction you are going in, Leo. So it's very exciting. So the bottom of the deck, the Eight of Pentacles. So this is this idea that the bottom of the deck, by the way, for those that aren't aware of perhaps why I'm using that, I use that as one of the main themes of the reading. This Eight of Pentacles, again, is a very earth energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And this energy is about stability and laying the groundwork. So when we talk about transitions and change, how we start that is really indicative of how successful it will be. But this shows this person working really hard at trying to lay this foundation or to build whatever this is. This could be a project, a new job, this could be a new relationship, this could be a family issue. But this is about you building the foundation and making sure that you get this right. Okay, so that's your main energy. I'm now going to just use, for clarification, our Island Wellness cards. Okay, so for your first column, we pulled the card of self-indulgence. Okay, and the second card, we have the card of paradise. And the third card, we have date, the card of date. Right, so let's talk about what all this means, because this never means straightforward necessarily what you think it means. So first of all, this Wheel of Fortune, this Empress, I spoke a little bit about it from the off. The Wheel of Fortune is what goes up must come down. So if you've had this difficult period of time during the retrograde, things are looking really good for this to change. Again, this Empress she's the Queen of Queens. She can denote fertility. She represents everything that is motherly, nurturing and caring, and she is really about building and creating this comfortable, happy life, basically. Okay, she is a number 3 as well, and 3s in numerology are about this idea of building something, making these changes and then gaining the results at the end of it, reaping the benefits. Okay, so this Wheel of Fortune is a number 10, and number 10s are the end of a cycle, and the Wheel of Fortune is very much indicative of cycles. So perhaps you're coming to the end of something. That could be you're coming to the end of old thought patterns. You could be coming to the end of being in a job or career and deciding that you want to do something different. You could be coming to the end literally of a relationship. And the key item that I'm confirming it with is this self-indulgence card. Now, if I just read this card, got this girl on the front. His artworks are quite fun. So we see that as self-indulgent. We think, ooh, but a little bit too much of, of the good life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. So if I read the card, it says, focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Have you been a little bit self-deprecating lately? Are you not being as confident as you'd like to be? Perhaps that little voice in your head has been telling you, I'm not very good at that, or I can't do that, or, why am I not looking as amazing as I want to look? Why am I not the person I want to be? All of these sort of creep into our ego self-talk. And this is saying that this is now a time moving forward. We spoke about how you'd been affected by Mercury. So perhaps that idea of communication wasn't an external communication, perhaps it was an internal communication. So perhaps you weren't being your own cheerleader at that time. And now it's asking that you do that. It's asking for you to take time for yourself, to work out who you are and what you want. And sometimes we need to honour old behaviour. Well, not honour, we need to understand that old behaviours are there for a reason. They came about because of a thought process that we put in place way back when. And sometimes we just keep looping the loop like this. We need to stop some of those behaviours. If they are toxic, devil card, if they are behaviours that don't serve you, it's time now to take the chains off. You see these people have got their chains on, Adam and Eve. It's time to let go of those processes and make way for new beginnings. Okay? And that leads me rather nicely to your second row, which is the Death card. And the Death card is this idea that we need to end certain behaviours that are not good for us, that aren't going to move us forward. Because at the end of the day, this is something that we all need to do in order to grow and to go through our own life path, I guess, is this idea that we go along, I call it Earth School, we go along and we take all these lessons and these relationships and the communication we have with different people, and then it gives us this wisdom and this knowledge that we can then hopefully reach a higher place within ourselves. So you have the Judgment card, but you have it in reverse. Sometimes in this position, it can be like having an epiphany or having a moment of clarity. Because yours is in reverse, it makes me think that some of the feelings about the change are around you, but you don't realise that something needs to change. So perhaps there's something going on in your life that isn't comfortable or isn't bringing you joy or happiness, and you are avoiding dealing with it. So the Judgment in reverse is just saying that we can all have these aha moments where we understand where we've been, where we are now, and where we're going. But it sometimes takes us work to get to that point. But these, I always see reversals as the potential to turn. So I think that you have the power to turn that card and make things good. Whatever happens, I would say, this card, you see this angel blowing the trumpet over these people? I always see this card as symbolic as the past, the present and the future. Maybe I'm doing that the wrong way around, but anyhow. And basically saying that some things, what is meant for us won't go past us. Some things are divinely meant and orchestrated to happen in our lives. And at the time, they don't feel very comfortable. But ultimately, they are in the pursuit of happiness or the pursuit of a better life. To clarify that, you have, whoa, there's one hiding behind it. You had two. Behind this card, you've got Paradise, the first one that I can see. And this is about happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So this can also talk about relationships. And with this idea that I said there's perhaps some change that needs to happen and you've not seen it yet, perhaps this is a relationship, an existing relationship, and it's been clouded by some, like maybe some tough energies that you've both been going through. So now it's saying that maybe it's time to change that and you will go on to paradise. You will reach better times within that relationship. But, you know, you've also got expansion on this card. And I've spoken quite a lot about this idea of you growing. So Leo, I think probably out of all of the readings I've done so far, this reading rather, is probably more about expansion and growth than any other sign. You are a fire sign, and as a Leo, you are a beautifully fierce character with the biggest heart. You will drive forward if there's something you believe in, but sometimes it can work a little bit against you when you're unsure, uncertain. You can be a little bit indecisive, and until you have all the fire you need in your belly to make a decision, you can sometimes feel a little bit stunted. Okay, so underneath your paradise, you had palm tree. Wow. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. Listen, we could all do with being a little bit more flexible, especially in our interpersonal relationships. But also for somebody, I think this might be a holiday. You've got your paradise island and you've got your palm trees. Maybe there's some Leos out there that are going on holiday, and maybe it's a much needed holiday for you and somebody special, or for you and your family. Holidays can be, you know, we haven't had many, have we, in the last 18 months during everything that's been going on in the world. And this might be saying that very soon you're going to have a holiday, or you're going to have some time, and you're going to really replenish the stores and be joyful and have fun. And I think really, Leo, this is something I'd love to see happen for you. You deserve to have fun. Okay, your third and final column. So you have this card, which I spoke about earlier, which is the Six of Swords. And I said that was about air signs. You have it with this major arcana, which is all about is Capricorn energy. And this is telling you that you're leaving something behind. For some of you, it may be family orientated. You can see this lady with this, which looks like a child, either a son or a daughter, and perhaps there's been some difficulties in a relationship you've had with a child or a brother or a sister, and perhaps you're now moving through to a better place in terms of that relationship, or maybe you're just communicating better with each other. And that's going to be really important for you moving forward, is this idea of how you communicate. And with this devil energy, there's this temptation to, this energy of, well, if you're not going to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. And we're all capable of that sometimes. Sometimes this can mean we just need to say, I'm sorry for something. Or we need to forgive somebody else for something perhaps they've done that has hurt us. And I think that I can definitely see this energy around you. There's an element of that somewhere. So be mindful of that. You know, some people out there, they don't know, they're not comfortable with saying sorry or forgiving. When somebody really hurts us, it's hard to forgive them. But I always think, I've had periods in my life where I've had to forgive people for some things that I've thought I'd never be able to. I'd never get over it. But life has this way over time of developing and us understanding each other and why we do and say the things we do. Sometimes when we forgive people, we maybe see things from their side and we can understand it. And sometimes we don't, and we don't need to. Sometimes we just need to forgive them in order for us to move on and to let go of stagnant energy that can surround us. Your clarification for this card was the date. And we have this young man on this card here. And this is saying meeting someone new, dating, get back out there, plan or set a date. So you could be setting the date for your holiday. You could be in a new relationship and you've come out of an old relationship. So this could be this moving forward, moving out of this toxic, codependent energy. For somebody, that will be a message. You could be dating somebody new. Or there could be this idea that you start loving yourself a bit more and you start dating yourself. Okay, I know that might sound weird to some of you, but sometimes we just need to treat ourselves, speak to ourselves nicely, believe that we are amazing, that we do deserve to be loved and to be treated well. And sometimes it's just a case of us changing our mindset in order for us to do that. For others of you, there might be a hot date on the horizon, my little Leos. You might be meeting somebody new. And you might be meeting somebody new when you travel, you go somewhere different. with your card next to it. Perhaps you go away with some friends and you meet somebody there, somebody not your normal type, somebody completely different. So good luck with that, Leo. That sounds exciting. I'm going to now end with, oh wow, your angel cards. And I've just had a little quick nosy first and turned the cards over. So your first Archangel Michael card says, decide to be happy now. There's this idea, isn't there, of I'll be happy when, I'll be happy if I get this, I'll be happy when I get that. Being happy is a state of mind, and it is a conscious decision that sometimes we have to make in order to say, well, let me look at all of my blessings I have now. Let me look at what I have in my life right in this moment that I can be grateful for. And this is telling you to be happy now and just wait for more happiness to come. You know, say to the universe, I'm happy now, I'm grateful for everything I have, but I'd like more of what I've got. Okay? So I'm going to just read you the little ritual that's at the bottom of each of these cards. Thank you for keeping me open, keeping my heart to happiness open. Help me to gain joy and bliss. I am now willing to see all the goodness in my life. Whoop whoop. Go on, Leo. Go and get your happiness. Go on search of it. You've also got your Action Angel Soul card. And this is meditation. So meditation is merely living completely in the moment. I'm really glad that that's come up actually, so that we can even just talk about that. Whenever I mention meditation to any of my friends or the people I work with, quite often people say, well, I don't know how to meditate. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't be able to quiet my mind. You know, the house is crazy. Meditation is literally living moment to moment. And sometimes it's switching the part of our brain off that just wants to overthink. So your angels are with you right now, Leo, and they're saying there's a bright future ahead. They want you to open your eyes and see it, and they wish you well. Have a great rest of the year. Just at the end of your reading, I just wanted to mention my new spell kits that I've been writing. On the website, I do mention that I associate myself with green witches, which are healers. And they work with mindfulness and this sort of thing. And I've been producing these spell kits. If you can see that up close. Yeah. The spell kits I write myself, and I do a couple of adult ones and some children's spell kits. There is a review currently on my website. Go and take a look. For one of my young viewers that purchased one of these kits, just talks a little bit about what's in them and how she's enjoyed them. So that might be worth having a look at on my website. So that's www.pegasusandthewitch.com. So it's very quickly, I thought I would just go through the sort of things that are in these kits. So they come with a scroll, and I write all of the special spells. So there are different ones. So the children ones, there are 3 different ones available. Go and have a little look at what those are. Just a very quick idea of the sort of things that are in them. This is one of the adult love kits I've got here. So inside the adult ones comes the Pegasus and the Witch candle that you can light during the spell. And these lovely dragon's blood incense sticks also come with the kit. And they have sort of instructions of when to burn these and in what order to do that. So they smell amazing, the dragon's blood ones. They are just such a beautiful thing to have anyway. And then each kit comes with a very different little talisman. And talismans are associated with luck and magic. So these are part of the spells as well. This one here is my witch with the 3 angels. They're very interactive. Each kit comes with a special affirmation card as well that you can be using after you've used the spell. And they're all about empowerment and believing in yourself and this sort of thing. And they're really great things to interact with. So yeah, go and have a little look on the website.